Yo, Bo! Welcome again to another episode of In the Life with MightyFan. And as I said when I did my last video earlier in the week, the next one will deal more with the jersey pickups in recent time. And here we go, right? We got a nice little 4-pack of jerseys. I know that Rez and Bay Area are going to be very interested in 2 of them. Half of them have Bay Area vibes. And 2 of them have Pennsylvania vibes, okay? So let's get right into my home state and my hometown first. We're going to go to the Phillies, and this is a nice addition to my Phillies collection because it's a unique Phillies jersey. It was worn with this particular item on the jersey for 1 season and has a pretty interesting little history tidbit to it. So let's get into it. We have, and you know I'm not a huge wool flannel guy, but I had to have this one. It's a 1945 Jimmy Fox. It's the home version, so you got the home. This is like an off-white cream, I guess more so than anything else. Has a navy blue Phillies across the front and pins and striping going down the front. You also have the striping on the sleeve, cuffs going around to the back. You got that number 4. That was his number, and yes, you do see a little tail here, right? So what's that? There's a all right. All you Toronto fans, what was the first team to have a Blue Jay on their uniform? No, not Toronto. It was the Phillies. Believe it or not, the Phillies were considering at that time to rebrand as the Blue Jays. It didn't happen. But they put a Blue Jay on their sleeve before wanting to change the name. I really don't know why, but they did. They thought it would be a good idea to put this on the sleeve. It's a cool-looking Blue Jay logo, right? It's a nice Blue Jay right there, kind of a standing Jay, or a Jay looking like he's ready to pounce or something, you know, who knows. But, so the Phillies were thinking about it. They didn't. And the idea kind of went away very quickly. They kept the name, the Phillies. In fact, the Phillies, for those of you who don't know, have been in one city under one name longer than any other franchise in the MLB. And Phillies have the distinction to say that they have done so. 1883 to current day, they have been in one city under one name, the Phillies, than any other team in baseball. You're saying, well, what about the Reds? No, the Reds were the Redlegs. They shortened their name to the Reds. The Cubs? No, the Phillies were around before the Cubs. So a lot of franchises that have been around the MLB for a very long time, either the Phillies were there before them, or those teams moved to another city, or they shortened their name or rebranded to another team name, what have you, but the Phillies have always been the Phillies, even though they thought about becoming the Blue Jays before Toronto. That was many years ago, but stayed the Phillies, and that has been their name up to current day and into the future. They'll be the Phillies, I would imagine, for the rest of time, right? So let's get into the particulars about this jersey as well. You have the jock tag right there, USA made. I know that wool flannel jerseys are starting to be made in China at this time, but this is, their jersey's been around for a while. It's not an old gold, old, jersey with the old tagging on there, but it has been one that's been around for a while. There you have the inside tag right there. And again, take a look at that. Very unique Phillies jersey right there with the Blue Jay on the sleeve. But that was the idea. So they were thinking about changing their name. They didn't, but for 1 year they did wear the Blue Jay logo on the sleeve with their Phillies name still on the front. So yeah, 1945 Jimmy Fox, number 4. Philadelphia Phillies never turned into the Blue Jays, but they were considering it, so they did put the J on the sleeve for that 1 season. And Mitchell and Ness and Peter had the cute eye back in the days. Let's make that jersey. All right, moving along. Now we're going to go to the western side of the state. We got the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the only to date authentic Barry Bonds jersey that Mitchell and Ness has ever made. I say authentic because I believe they made a batting practice Barry Bonds some years ago. But this is the authentic pullover, USA made, so there's no name on the back. There should be Bonds on the back, but there isn't because the USA jerseys at that time, they didn't have the naming rights to players, so they had to make them just with the number. So that is why it just has the number 24, but that was Barry's second number with the Pirates. Of course, as a rookie, he wore number 7, and he changed to number 24. And of course, when he went to San Francisco, he couldn't wear number 24 because that was his godfather's number, Willie Mays, right? So he had to adopt number 25. But he was 24 for most of his years in Pittsburgh, and this is his authentic version of his road Pittsburgh Pirates pullover jersey of the time. It's a 1990. And there you have the jock tag. Old gold USA run. There you see the inside tagging. The inside tag is faded off from existence, but it does have the Mitchell and Ness. Pullover, double stitched everything. Pittsburgh 24 on the front. You have the big cuffs. This is a jersey that's also been faked quite often. This is a good one. This is an authentic. But you have the googly-eyed pirate right there. Logo on the sleeve. I did have one of these. I still have one of these in the collection I got years ago, but it was custom done before I got it into an Andy Vance-like number 18, and the name is on the back of that one. So this is, I guess, technically my second ever Barry Bonds authentic Mitchell and Ness Pirates, but that one, of course, being renamed beforehand and custom. So this is my first official number 24 Bonds Pirates jersey in the fold. All right, you know what? I forgot my prop. Oh, my goodness. I forgot my prop. Look at that. Ooh. Tell you what. Anyhow, we're moving along. Now we're going to go to the Bay. Rez, Bay Area. All you Bay Area guys, you're going to like this. And I know Rez, I got lots of flack from Rez over the years that I didn't have a Sharks jersey in the collection until 2022. I didn't have a Sharks jersey in the collection. And I got the Pavelski, the Joe Pavelski jersey months ago. Beautiful jersey with the 25 patch on there. Anniversary patch. Teal jersey. Awesome looking jersey. And Rez knew about that I got one of these. You didn't know about this. This one just kind of came into being, okay? So Rez, this is the one you didn't know about that I picked up. Oh, the Jumbo Joe. Thornton Reebok replica. San Jose Sharks, future Hall of Famer right here, one of the great all-time point scorers, USA-born players in the history of the NHL. Jumbo Joe, of course. Thornton. Actually, I'm sorry. I believe I forget if he's Canadian or USA. I know, all right, we're moving on. I think it's, is it Kessel, I believe is the other guy. Anyhow, Jumbo Joe, number 19, San Jose Sharks, with the captaincy. So this is a style Sharks jersey I haven't owned. Of course, I didn't own a lot of Sharks jerseys before this year. But this one is an older version of the Joe Thornton, Sharks jersey than even the Pavelski I had. Because the Pavelski I have, I believe, has more teal in it. Doesn't have any of the accents or the different copper colorway, and also you have the white kind of going in there, and the black shoulders. So this is again a replica Jumbo Joe, but again the big bold logo on the front. Love that. The captaincy on there, right? The 19. This is when they were kind of experimenting with different things. And you do have the Sharks again. Their logos on the shoulders, right there. The 19 again. I want to say this was the style jersey they were wearing, and Rez and Bay Area, I know they'll correct me if I'm mistaken, but I believe this was like, and I could be wrong, but I'm kind of remembering this as the jersey they wore when he first came aboard to the Sharks, right? If I'm not mistaken, because I think they had already rebranded away from their original look, and they were kind of doing different things, but I don't know. It was a long day at work, so the brain's not really functioning on all cylinders right now, but we have the jock tag right there. We have the Vector logo on the back. Again, this is a replica, not authentic, but even for replica jerseys, they make them really nice for hockey. Thornton on a nameplate, double stitched, 19 on the back, and I don't believe that's triple stitching, but I could be wrong. No, it is actually pressed onto the material, so this is not stitched. But it's kind of made to look it. But the numbers are actually, I believe it's kiss cutted on there, but it's not stitched onto the jersey itself. It's pressed onto the jersey. I want to say the only thing, no, the logo is pressed on. Oh, no. Let me tell you, closer inspection. Nope, everything is pressed onto the jersey, so nothing is stitched. But it's made to look it. Right? Still a very nice jersey. and in still very nice condition. The previous owner or owners really took great care of their jerseys. You have the NHL logo on the inside there. Jumbo Joe, we're going to hang him up right here. All right, so Rez, Bay Area, that's Sharks jersey number 2 in the collection. Number 2, okay? So now you think it's over, but they're still chumming that water, okay? When I was in the ocean, all right, in the Atlantic Ocean, but when I was in the ocean with Mark M., and I was quoting Jaws quotes the whole time, like Quint, okay? Now, it was a sign that I was going to have more Sharks gear, okay? So here is the one. Okay, so Jumbo Joe in this style Sharks jersey I've always liked, so I'm glad to have it in the collection. We're going to put him aside, though, for right now, because this one has been the one I've always wanted. And in this player, this style and this player has been the one I've always wanted. And ironically enough, I didn't get it first, as I always thought I would. But it came into the fold. Same seller as had the Thornton I bought this one from. Rez knew about this one. The original Sharks jersey, or sweater, if you will. The teal would have been the home the away jersey of the time, because they wore the white at home at that time. But still beautifully done. Look at that crest. Woo! That's the original logo right there. You have a captaincy. And the player of choice is Owen Nolan. Owen was the first Sharks player I remember. So I always wanted his jersey in the fold, his Sharks jersey in the fold. And here it is, Nolan number 11. Nameplate 11. And you also have the Finn logo, of course, their alternate logo at the time, on the shoulders as they wore it. You have the stripes. Beautifully executed. Now, this is a vintage line CCM. Okay, so this isn't like an original. This is a vintage one, so it's a repro. But really, really nice condition. Really pops. It's got the, the stripes going around the neck hole there. And the piping, I should say. And you have, again, the stripes on the sleeves. You got the stripes on the bottom. Right there. Pseudo the jersey they did as their reverse retro some years ago. Of course, they made up a silver version of this, or a gray version. But beautiful, beautiful jersey right here. Owen Nolan, like I said, San Jose Sharks, the original jersey, the sweater, the teal sweater, which I always wanted in the collection, and finally have it in immaculate condition. And the player I always wanted, Owen Nolan, and same day I got this, I found this hat. This is a vintage hat now, okay? So I found this hat on Macari, and it's the vintage Zephyr hat right there, the fitted. And there it is. There's the alternate logo. There's the primary. So that's going to go with Mr. Nolan. Boom, right there. Rez, what do you think? Bay Area, huh? MightyFan did good, didn't he? Come on. Oh, my goodness. Woo! Can't tell me anything with this. Wait till the cooler weather when I can put this bad boy on, and oh my goodness. Woo! Beautiful. So see? Now it's funny because I got 3 Sharks jerseys in the collection now. All 3 of them have a captaincy from 3 different players and 3 different eras, and they're all teal. I do want to get a white one someday and a black one. Okay, because diversifying the collection. But to have 3 different Sharks jerseys in the same year when I had none previous, that's pretty good, right? Bay Area and Rez are shaking their heads. They know. So we added to the Sharks collection. Okay, we added to the hockey collection also, which is definitely something I always want to do, because it is part of my collection overall, which is still, it's nice. I'm happy with what I have, but it is still lacking. I would like to still get more, for the hockey collection overall, and we're going to get there. I think one of the cool things, and I got pretty good deals for those 2 jerseys, and, one of the things that I do like to do is if there are jerseys that I would like to get, which there always are, all right, let's be serious about that, right? It's good to get them, but also to find teams that might not be doing so great at the current time so that you can get their jerseys a little cheaper. Now, Sharks jerseys are a little different because they are iconic, right? The teal, those jerseys mean a lot to a lot of people. So those jerseys you're not always going to get great deals on, but you can still find them. I mean, you can definitely still find them. And, of course, you can find them in players that left the team, and you can have them stripped and turned into current players or other players from that era that you would like. I'm going to keep those jerseys the way they're now, obviously, and I'm not changing that one to anyone else, Thornton, or Pavelski, because they all were very good Sharks, for their times on the team. And Jumbo Joe, I mean, again, one of the all-time great point scorers in the history of the game. Owen Nolan was the first Shark that I remember. And Joe Pavelski had some great years, with the Sharks, including captaining the only team to go to a Cup Finals in their history so far, right? So you have a lot of history with those three players, and those teal jerseys just always hit. So I'll probably always keep them the way they are, but there are options out there too. Maybe getting another player someday and turning it into another player or a blank. That's the thing that you can do always with hockey too. You can find the blank jerseys and turn them into have them turned into a player of choice, and that's a very popular thing that a lot of people do. And I have yet to do it for hockey, but it's an option. In fact, it's a very good option because you can find more blank jerseys than you can name and number jerseys, particularly from the era. Because back in the old days, and I say old days, right? Back in the I guess the late 80s into the 90s, you didn't have a lot of jerseys with the name and numbers on them, right? So you had to get the blank ones. So, it just depends. It just depends. Anywho, or maybe they just never made a jersey of that certain player and you still want it, right? So anyhow, those are the jersey pickups, right, from the past how many weeks? So we got 4 of them. Happy to have them into the collection. The Jimmy Fox has been one, like I said, I've wanted for a while. And just so happened that I found a good price for one on eBay and I jumped on it. The Bonds was one that I've seen in the past. I just never jumped on it. But it got to the point where I'm like, I'd like that in the collection. Being that to date, it's the only authentic Barry Bonds that they've made, unless there's some salesman sample of some, of the home version or one of his Giants or something that I just don't know about. And then the Sharks jerseys, obviously, they both just came at the right time, and the seller had them at best offers, and it was just meant to be, right? In fact, the seller made me sent an offer to me for the Thornton, and I took it because I'm like, it was pretty cheap. And I'm like, if I don't take it, someone else will. And I knew it was in really good condition. I just had to make sure it was an adult XL, because the pictures couldn't really tell. And I'm not the expert as far as tagging and stuff. So once they confirmed it, I even forgot it was the same seller I got the Nolan from. It just, they both came in 2 separate packages, but the packages looked exactly the same. I'm like, is that the same? I mean, it's 2 Sharks jerseys. It's the same guy. And sure enough, same name. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, that makes sense. So shout out to the seller, man. Excellent condition for both of those. And real excited to have them. And I know Rez and Bay Area are very happy that I have them too. Because more Bay Area love, in the Mighty Kingdom. That's what it is, right? Speaking of Bay Area love, and I failed to bring this up before, but last week we found out the Warriors, speaking of Bay Area teams, right, and Bay Area love, like I said, their throwback jerseys are going to be the Run TMC era jerseys this year, the old road version, the blue versions of those jerseys. And for those of you who don't know what I'm referring to, so back in the 90s, the Warriors wore jerseys with the slanted Warriors going up the front. They had the home whites and the road blues, right? You can find them on mitchellandness.com if you go ahead and look at that, right? Or you can just Google search it. It's worth a Google. Okay, so in the 90s they had them. So Run TMC was Chris Mullen, Mitch Richmond, and Tim Hardaway. And I have all 3 of their Warrior jerseys in the fold. And the cool thing that they did for those 3 was each of those 3 wore the captaincy on the front. And the Warriors are one of the few teams to do that. There's been other teams that have done it, not a ton, and it's more prevalent in hockey, as you just saw. Now football has adopted it. You've seen it from time to time in baseball, not as much. I'd love to see it more. I'd love to see it more in baseball and basketball. I really would. I mean, heck, they're doing it in football. That was adopted, so, those other 2 leagues could get involved, right? I mean, they did for a time. Some teams did it, and the Warriors are one of them. So one of the absolutely cool things and I was hoping when I always thought the Warriors would bring it back as a throwback jersey because it was a popular style. And you think about that era of Warriors basketball, and it was Run TMC, three very popular players, and other very good players wore that jersey too, like Latrell Sprewell wore that jersey, right? So Chris Webber wore that jersey in his rookie year with the Warriors, and there's been others too, right? Just coming across some of the names, they're just popping in my brain, right? Of course, Rez and Bayer, I can like name you whole rosters from those teams, right? But that jersey's always been one that hit the heart vibes for Warriors, for Dub Nation, right? And those fans have wanted to see them back for many years. I mean, they brought kind of a re-up of that jersey some years ago. It was kind of hit or miss. I have the Curry swingman because I have a ton of Curry jerseys, and right, so Warrior fans have always wanted to see it. Other fans have always wanted to see it brought back, and they're bringing it back. And I love the fact that they're putting the captaincies on them. They're going to wear them. I believe it's going to be Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph to wear the captaincies, right? Beautiful. Love that. Now, whether or not they're going to be available in Authentics, I don't know. Me, personally, I'm not one of those that cares too much. I mean, you see me right here in a swingman. It's just, in a replica, I should say, this Iverson Nats jersey, which, by the way, I bought when the Sixers brought these out those many years ago, okay, when Iverson was on the team. So this jersey has been with me ever since the Sixers donned these jerseys, which Mitchell and Ness now made a version of, which apparently they got some things wrong. It's not really a surprise, but apparently, right? But at any rate, I don't know if there's going to be authentic versions of these available. Maybe there will be, maybe they're not. I know with the throwback lines, they usually don't. They just make them in swingman line. We'll see. We'll see, because they're a very popular jersey. Maybe they will. We'll just have to wait and see. But what I hope, right, long way of getting to the main point, is what I hope is even if they just do them in swingman form, I am really hoping they still put the captaincy on there. Okay, sometimes, as we know, with the swings and whatnot, not all the details get put on it, but I believe this is a detail that must go on it. If they do put these, whenever they do put these out, put the C on them, even if it's a swing. Put the C on it, because I need that Curry with the C. Okay, now me being a crazy Curry jersey collector, even if it doesn't have the C, I'll probably get it. But I want the jersey with the C. It's an extra on there that I really want to see on the jersey. See what I did there? Okay, so we need that C. Nike, we need that C. Even if it's just a replica, we need to see the yellow C on there. All right? Get it right. All right? Just so you know. Anyhow, I'm thrilled to hear that the Warriors are bringing those back as a throwback this year, and the fact that they're going to have the C incorporated on, at least for those three players. It's a beautiful touch. It makes sense, and it's going to be awesome to see them wearing those, and hopefully I'll be able to get one with the C. So that was something that came out early last week, and ironically enough, I was in the Mitchell Ness store when someone hit me with that. It was a Bay Area, I believe. Bay Area hit me with that on Instagram. And it's like, oh. And it was like Chris Mullin wearing it. And it hit me. I'm like, oh, yeah. And then later you see an image of Steph wearing it with the C. I'm like, oh, goodness God. Man, I'm excited for it. I really am. So, that's coming. There's been some leaks of some of the retro verses coming out this year for the NHL. So far it's been kind of hit or miss. I'm still very much worried. What's going to happen when those start hitting? Because I know there's going to be at least a handful that I'm going to want to get, and I still haven't gotten all the ones I wanted from the first batch of them, right? So that's been kind of happening. Hat news. Surprise, surprise, I picked up a few more hats. So Liz has been doing the Chrome collection, I think. It's really like an off-white two-tone collection. Really nicely done for them. And I know My Fitteds did, I think, the original version, of which, again, shout out to Pierre, a.k.a. Cap. sold me a Tigers one that he had an extra of with the walking tiger in the front. And Lids just made basically their version of the same hat with the Tiger Stadium, I believe, patch on the side. Beautiful, beautifully done set. Lids online has been pumping them out. The thing with Lids, as always, is they don't bring them all out at once, and they don't put all sizes out at once. And I was freaking out today because there was one in that set that I knew I had to have. I had to have it, and it was the Mariners with the Kingdom side on the patch. And I say that because I remember it wasn't long ago. I think it was Lids that did it. They did a Mariners hat with the Kingdom logo on the side, and I loved it, but it wasn't in my size. Then there was another company that made one. Another hat company did it, but the colorway I wasn't like thrilled with. This one, it just hit beautiful. It's an off-white hat. It's got the, I believe, the teal brim, and it's got the compass logo on the front. Basically, that secondary logo that they have on the front. And then it's got the Kingdom Dome, logo on the side. Absolutely love it. And I wanted a Mariners hat with that Kingdom logo, side patch logo, since I first saw it, because that just, like, I see that and I think of the Kingdom and I think of that 1995 Game 5, Mariners Yankees when Griffey scored the winning run, and I would wear this hat with the Griffey jersey, right? And you think of it for like Bo Jackson, running through Bosworth on that Monday night game, I believe in '87, right? If I remember correct, that year, right? And I have a white Bo Jackson. I would even wear that hat, even though they're two different with that, because it's the Kingdom. And I think of Bo, I think of that play against, running over Bosworth for the touchdown. There's that. The Sonics, I believe, played there for a time. Like the King, I have memories of the Kingdom, So I think the Eagles even won a game there. That I don't remember the game. Slim might remember it, but on a last-second field goal, against the Seahawks many years ago. You think of like Steve Largent. Like you think of like the Kingdom. You think of many different things for Seattle sports, right? But I'll always remember it for the game when they won in the ALDS against the Yankees when Griffey scored the winning run. And when I first saw that logo, that's what I thought at first. And I'm like, I would love a Seattle hat with that Kingdom on the side, and I would wear it with a Griffey jersey. I don't have a 1995 Griffey jersey because they haven't made one. I have a 97. I have, others, but I don't believe I have a 95. I don't believe that's one of the years they made for Griffey yet. It would be kind of cool if they did that home white jersey, because that would be the moment, right? In fact, there's a great documentary. I probably mentioned it before. MLB Network did it. It was on the 95 Mariners and how that series and that series win kind of saved the Mariners in Seattle, because they were able to get the funding they needed for the new ballpark, the current ballpark right now, because of that. Because of that playoff run. And so that Kingdom logo, man, I know people were tired of the side patches. I get that. I love them. I still do. And it's just memories and moments. It's part of the reason. And obviously, if I have a patch on the sleeve and you have it on this, yeah. And if there's a jersey out there that I would like to get down the road and I have a chance to get the hat with the patch, yeah, I want to do that. So that Mariners I'm happy to have gotten. I also got the Expos. And I know I just recently got the pastel colorway with the 20. I got the chrome collection, whatever they're calling it, off white with the 25. Because I'm a sucker for Expos hats. I am. If they're done the right way, correctly, if I like the way they're executed, I get them. It's like the Phillies. It's like Snacks will tell you, like the Orioles. Slim has seen me in action with the Orioles. He knows. Right? I wasn't huge on the Orioles version of this because I think they did the World Series side patch. And, if they would have done like the All-Star or one of their other anniversaries or something on that one, I think it would have been a little better. But so that one I probably might stay away from. But the Expos, yeah, that one Yeah, I like the Phillies too, but the Phillies one I feel I can get in store here in a brick and mortar lids, and I can get a discount. The one thing about the site that does suck is now if you're a one of the lids members, whatever, you get an email once a month with a discount code, and you can use this code throughout the month, but it won't let you use it on new releases. It's weird. But yet in store you can get your percentage off on new releases, which I do all the time. So that's why usually if it's like a Phillies hat, I'm like, okay, well I know I can't get a deal on the site, but I can get it in store. So let me see if I can find it in store. Right? Can't use the code on Lids HD. Actually, you can. I'm sorry about that. It automatically puts it in as long as you're logged in and you signed up to be a member. It gives you the excuse me. It gives you excuse me. It gives you the percent off right as soon as you put it in your cart, which is weird because but Lids you can't get the discount. It's a Fanatics thing. What can you do, right? But so I can't get a discount on anything new on their website, but in store I can, or if it's a Lids HD drop, I can, right? But then I did the paying for, so so I spread it out. At least I could do that. That's like the little workaround. So anyhow, the Mariners with the Kingdom, and I got the Expos with the 25. I really like that set. There's a lot of good ones in it. It's just, it's like, can't move on as many as I would like to. But there's some other nice ones if they can hang around a little bit. Maybe they get added to the collection. And I would like to find the Phillies one. There's two Phillies. The one I like the most, actually Pro Image did first. Pro Image did an off-white Phillies with a burgundy brim with the Independence Hall logo on the front. And I believe the side patch is the final season of the Vet. And when it first came out, I couldn't get it, and they reissued it, and I still couldn't get it because I couldn't spend it anymore. So I never was able to get their version of it. I have similar ones, but I love that logo, that Independence Hall Phillies logo. That's my favorite Phillies logo. So I like the way it's executed on this, so I'll probably grab it. Although I kind of want to look back at the Phillies hats I have with that logo just to make sure I don't have something that's too similar to it. But I would like, if not, I would like to find that in store and get a discount, at some point. Usually hats in stores tend to last a bit, hang around a bit, so I think I'll be okay, getting it maybe next weekend or something like that. That's the plan anyhow, we'll see. Yeah, so I got those. The Ravens hat I was able to get from Hat Club off their drop last week or so. Still is kind of floating around in the mail. I guess I didn't mention I did get the Ravens hat. The other one I really wanted most I couldn't get. I'll make mention of that when I show the Ravens hat. Slim will be happy I got another Ravens hat. But but I like the hat, so I had to get it. But so that was still floating. And I did get a hat. I got a snap from Warrior Shop. I forget if it was last week or the week before. So that's still floating around in the mail. And that's a hook hat. That's a hook hat for a jersey I want to get. Jersey I already have. In fact, maybe more than one jersey I already have. But certainly a jersey I want to get. And that will be coming. Actually, yes, I do have a few versions of that jersey in hand already. But another jersey that I would like to get, and speaking of, I'm happy to say that next week, towards the end of the week, I'm going to make my first ever purchase with True Custom. And I look forward to that because, as we know, he does immaculate work on the custom jerseys that they put out. And, of course, on Instagram, you can look him up, TRU Customs, or Custom. A lot of fellow members of the Jersey Heads community have already gotten jerseys done by him. And every single one of them looks like a winner in my mind. Again, I'm never going to be one of those guys that can tell you everything down to the stitch about jerseys. It's just never something I'm going to be able to do. But if I have interest in a jersey, You see I'm sweating. So you see, this is why I can't wear these damn things in the summer too often. But this is it's an old jersey. It's also a replica, so I don't feel as bad, right? Just toss it in the wash at some point, right? But anyhow, this is why. And that was just because of the lights. All right? But so yes, True Custom. I will be making my first purchase with them. I'm hoping to put an order for 4 jerseys because I think if you get 3 or 4 or so, it saves per jersey. So I'm gonna do that, and I look forward to it. What are the jerseys I'll be getting? I'm gonna wait till I order just so I know for sure I can get the 4. I think one of the things with True Custom is he has to make sure he has the template for the players to make the jersey before he can officially do the jersey, and he put a jersey out recently, and I just went, I gave the googly eyes. I said, oh my goodness. And then I went and see this is what jersey heads do. Now you go digging, right? And I looked at the roster from that year, and I said, oh, I know the player I want to get. So I hit him up just to make sure he could do that player in that style. He said he could. So I will don't worry. I will mention the player. I just want to make sure to get my order in, so I know all 4 will be happening, and then I will let you, the viewer, know the 4 players I'm going to be getting in my very first ever True Custom order. Very excited. I've been wanting to put an order in for a while, and then other things happen. You get other jerseys and hats and jerseys, and it just, the plans go to hell. I mean, that's what happens. But this time for sure, the order will be placed next week. I just have to make sure I know exactly the 3 other jerseys I want to get. One of them I know. The other 2 I'm still kind of debating, kind of thinking, kind of plotting. And at least I think this gives me a little extra time to think and plot. So I know Nostalgia Boy has one of them that I'm thinking about. And I'll give that one away. The John Stockton with the purple away John Stockton with the Pistol Pete Memorial. Because I have the home white one that Mitchell Ness did years ago. And apparently they got some things wrong on that one. But True did a home, I believe he did the home and away set. He did Stockton and Malone. I was a little chagrined. Because he could, at least he told me at the time, or I heard from Nostalgia Boy at the time, he couldn't do a Griffin, a Dr. Duncanstein. And I would love to get a Dr. Duncan number 35 with the pistol. Oh. You know what? Just because it's different. He was a great member of that team. I believe his number's retired by the Jazz. And the dunk contest, his nickname, Dr. Duncanstein, right? It just, with the pit would have been, it's just something you're not going to see all the time, right? But if he can't do it, between Stockton and Malone, I think I would want to get Stockton, because I have the home Mitchell Ness, so have the road True Custom version would be cool, have the home and away set, and the Pistol Memorial on there. Beautiful. I've seen that jersey in person. Nostalgia Boy showed it while I was visiting Slim some time ago. He came over and brought some True stuff. And Slim and I are both looking at each other with this like, oh my God, this jersey's hot. So the Stockton, I might still ask True if he can do Griffin. If he can't do Griffin, I'm like, all right, we'll go with something that I know you can do. We'll do Stockton, right? So that will be one of them, and then the other 3, 2 of them I kind of know. The other one I want to see if he can do, and if he can do all of them, I'll let you know the next time around. The 4 that will officially be in the works, right? So I don't want to say, oh, I'm going to get this, and if he can't do it. So I'm going to wait, make sure I know for sure he's it, and the order's in place, and then you will know my first 4. One of them more than likely will be that Stockton with the Pistol Memorial, but the road purple. But the other 3, I'm going to wait until the order's officially placed, right? I'm looking forward to it. Listen, this is the type of thing that Jersey Heads, this is what we do. We don't wait around, for other companies to make these. If we have a custom option, a viable custom option, we'll get it done. Whether it's True, whether, Rivalry does his stuff right. there are ways to get jerseys done, right? You can get blanks, you can send them places, have them done. I don't know every single customer. I know EPS does stuff. There's another guy in our group, Sergio. He does stuff. Bill Henderson for baseball does a lot of stuff. Custom, you can blanks, does them, right? I have some of his work in the collection that I got from other sellers when they were buying, or jersey heads when they were selling. And the work is it's immaculate. I mean, it really is. It's just amazing stuff, right? It's like it's like kids in a candy store. Once you get a taste, it's all over, right? In fact, I have some stuff in the works in Rivalry, and I look forward to those jerseys. I really do. It's exciting. It's like Christmas. Every time when you get the package in the mail from where it's like, ooh, let me see that, and it's a custom thing. So you're one of the few people, maybe even the only person to have this in your possession, which is very cool. So I look forward to it. True is just one of those outlets that just feeds the passion. That just keeps doing it. Like Rivalry, like these other customizers. It just fuels it. And the thing about them is they do it from scratch. They're making these jerseys from scratch. You're not just sending them stuff, which I think True and Rivalry have done, where you send a blank or another jersey and they could do it, at least in the past. But you're getting it from scratch. You're getting the jersey done up. Well, it's going to be made by them, custom by them. So it makes it that much more special. It really does. And I have a decent amount of Rivalry sportswear jerseys in the fold right now, and there's others to come, And it's always a special thing because this jersey was made, from scratch. This is what it was, right? And it's a cool process. I know. Mac, started to do some stuff again with YouTube and kind of going into the process a little more about customization, and it's great stuff. It's great to learn and just to have a little inside look. Like I try to give you an inside look at being a collector. Now I don't make jerseys, right? So I just buy them whether they're customized or not. But the customizers out there, like Rivalry that put his stuff on YouTube and okay, this is what we're doing. I think there was another guy. I want to say. I apologize if I'm botching the name, but Jackbox, Man Cave, something about maybe Jackbox Collections or Man Cave, collections or something like that, where he was making his. He was customizing Eagles jerseys, into different players and showing how it's all done from the start to the finish, and it was cool. It's something I could never do. I don't have the patience or the equipment, right? But it's fascinating. It's neat to see the process from start to finish. It's a very cool thing. So I hope Matt continues on with that series that he had started. I think he called it like customized corner or something like that, and very cool. Showing kind of the process. Now, this wasn't exactly Rivalry jerseys. These were some NHL jerseys that he got blank or as another player and turning it into a player of choice from another company. But, obviously, that's Rivalry Sportswear does stuff from scratch. The jerseys are done, and it's always, I've never had a bad thing to say about him in hand. I never will. I trust him that he says, this is the jersey you're going to get. I know this is what I'm going to get, And I've heard that about True, too. And again, I haven't worked with him yet. This will be the first time. But everyone that's worked with it has never had anything bad to say. And I can tell you from seeing the product in hand from other collectors like Nostalgia Boy, that it's just A-plus quality. Really, really nice. There might be little things here or there that I just don't know. But, if you want to nitpick on this and that, but from what I've seen, it's been one just, incredible piece after another. And it's the same with some of these other customizers too. And that's what makes it fun. That's people say, oh, how long are you going to do this? Well, I don't have an end date to this because of customizers, because there's always something new that you can have done. If Mitchell & Ness, which will always be my favorite brand, but if they're not doing it, or they're just going to do it just in swingman form, And I'm not a hater of the swingman line, but I want to get, okay, well, if I do want to get authentic, and if they're not going to do it, well, there's True, well, there's Rivalry, well, there's other areas where you can get that done. And like I always said, the most dangerous thing that could ever happen is if someone does it for baseball. That might end me. I'm talking about from scratch. That, oh, well, we can do this jersey. We can make this one, just tell us what you want, Yeah, that one would, yeah, that would end things for me. That's my biggest weakness is baseball. That particularly those 70s, the current, the polyknit era, that's my biggest weakness. Biggest for collecting. That's my biggest passion, and that's my biggest weakness. And I love getting basketball, and I love getting hockey and football. But baseball, oh, forget it. If someone just does them by scratch, and just like a True Custom comes along, or Rivalry, or whoever it is, it's like, oh, we now offer this, and you can get these now. Like, oh no. There's that song, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 right? That's the song that's going to be playing, and it's like, oh. It's the end for MightyFan. Oh, my goodness, my goodness. Anyhow, that's going to be it for my little chitter-chatter right after the showing of the jerseys, right? Like 17 minutes of showing jerseys, and then the rest is... But, I had some things I wanted to talk about. I also want to make mention that I'm not going to do it right away. I do have some friends coming over pretty soon. My good buddies, right, Big Slim and Adam from Boston will be coming over. And Adam will be happily looking at all the Eagles paraphernalia around yet again. I think the picture over there of Brady being strip sacked. Right, Super Bowl 52. But they will be here. Again, birthday's coming up this Sunday. 44. Hank Aaron. So, gonna be 44 on Sunday, my goodness. But where does the time go? But anyhow, we're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna have fun next week too. The Super Fun Happy Week coming up. And I hope to do some vlogging. I hope to, have some fun with that too. And hope to bring you some of that on YouTube here in the series. So be on the lookout for that. Probably within a week or two from now. I also hope to start something new on Instagram. And to follow me on there, look for @MightyFan, one word, MightyFan. You'll find me on there. I'm hard to miss on there. You'll see the jerseys. You'll see my hats and stuff. And I'm not the biggest of photo take. I should do more, and but I do have the Israel. I'm more of a video guy than a photo guy, right? So I do want to do a new series starting on Instagram. I'm gonna try to do it every Wednesday. I'm gonna try. And it's going to be Combo Wombo Wednesdays with MightyFan. And I'm going to show you one jersey and hat. Or maybe multiple jerseys with a hat. Or maybe it could be multiple hats with a jersey, right? Just whatever I can come up with. But it's basically going to be one. Okay, one item. And I'm going to do a little review about this. And this is why I put this together. And this is what I think works for it. And, so I'm going to give you a little Combo Wombo Wednesday, every Wednesday on Instagram. It probably won't be a live. It's probably just going to be a pre-recorded vid that I'll just toss up there, right? I do hope to go live on there, too, and do some live chat sessions with the Jersey Heads, right, or anyone who wants to hop on. I think I'll do it on there rather than YouTube. I don't use StreamYard. I know I've hopped on in the past with Rez or Throwback King, and it's always fun. But I like how it's just, you just get on and do it on Instagram. So I think that I'm going to start that. And it might be like a once a month type, round table chat with others, whoever wants to hop on. I think you can only get 4 on at a time. So maybe it will be one of those where people come on, people, in and out kind of thing. But I hope to do that starting in September. you know. And I'll put little things on there, like on my story on Instagram, you know, so you'll be alerted to that. That, oh, well, on this date, you know, Mighty Fan's going live, you know, a little, you know, feel free to join type of thing. But like I said, the Combo Wombo Wednesdays will probably start um, in earnest probably week after next. You know, because next week super fun happy week, so I'm not gonna have time to, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it tomorrow. So probably we're looking at the Wednesday after next will be the first one. So be on the lookout for that on my Instagram page. It's something that, as we know, I do have a passion for, putting the jerseys and hats together. Just a bit. So have more than enough to do, and we're gonna make that a Wednesday series on Instagram. So look forward to that, right? And like I said, I'll start doing some lives maybe once a month. Yeah, excuse me, getting all choked up over it. Yes, once a month, starting in September at some point. When, I don't know. We're just gonna go live one day, and we're gonna take it from there. Anyhow, 50 minutes of joy, 51 minutes of joy just about now, right? So thank you as always for tuning in and for all the support. And what do you always have to do? You have to leave those likes. Feel free to comment below. Also want to make sure, if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe. And if you haven't or have already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon, right? Ding, ding, so you get notified to all future content from yours truly. Have a great one, everyone. I will see you all again here on YouTube soon. I would imagine the next vid on YouTube will be the Super Fun Happy Week vlog with Slim and Adam, and who, you never know. Nostalgia Boy could be in it. You never know who's going to show up, right? It's going to be a Super Fun Happy Week. So that's going to... I can see Slim rolling his eyes right now. God. Anyhow, I will see you in the next one. You all take care, and until then, MightyFan signing off for now. Bye.